Most people spend thousands on ads, weeks crafting content, and still can't get clients predictably. I don't. Instead, I post a single Instagram story sequence and have thousands of dollars flow in within hours. No ads, no content grind, just an Instagram story sequence I call FOMO seeding stories. And the best part, they're so excited to buy that 50% of the time, the deal closes in the DM before my team even has to get on a sales call. In this video, I'm gonna break down exactly how this works, how I attract high-ticket buyers, get them emotionally primed to take action, and turn a few story slides into $1,500, $3,000, or even $10,000, all without having to spend an extra single dollar on ads. I'll even show you the exact sequence and psychology I use so that you can plug this into your business right now. Let's go. All right, let's jump directly into the FOMO seeding story sequences I use to be able to post a call to action like this. Have people reply keyword and immediately book a call onto my calendar so I can collect multiple 4- and 5-figure paychecks on the exact same day. Now, if you're wondering, why do you need to learn this? Well, Alex Hormozi always says you should never sell in the content. The longer you hold off on selling in your reels, in your carousels, in your static posts, on your feed on Instagram, the more goodwill you'll buy with the market. And it also hurts your engagement when you start to post on the grid, right? So where do you sell? Where do you sell if you can't sell on the feed? Well, it's simple. You sell in your stories, right? Now, Wes Watson has a really good kind of frame of how someone should use their stories. If you're wondering, how do I sell in the stories? You want to look at your stories as a reality TV show with commercial breaks. What does that mean? That means you want to be documenting your day, humanizing your profile, showing what you actually do to make sales resistance as low as possible on your stories, and occasionally throw in a story sequence that has a call to action as if it were a commercial break in the reality show that is your life. Not only does this give you an incognito way to sell to your audience, it also makes your life less pompous and less repetitive, right? Now, the modern flywheel, if you haven't watched the video that I posted recently on the modern flywheel, which has replaced the funnel. Funnels are dead. Funnels no longer work in 2025. If you haven't watched the video showing what replaces them, I'll put a link right here somewhere. Now, the modern flywheel, if you did watch that video, you'll recall that we talked about how on your Instagram profile, we now want to use short form content for awareness and habit formation. Always stay top of mind. Then use call to value story sequences to give people the opportunity to get a value asset, a long form asset, a YouTube video, whatever it is, to start nurturing them. And all of those videos then lead to a belief shifting asset, right? Like a VSL, like a webinar, like a 5-day challenge. And if people don't want to take action on that, they'll just go right back into your flywheel. Short form content, CTV story sequences, long form nurturing assets until they eventually get pushed to another sales asset, right? And so we create this flywheel where we don't just lose attention if the person isn't ready to take action. They get stuck in this cycle until they're ready to take action and turn into a sales call, right? But what happens in these story sequences? How do we build these? How do I build these in order to get so many people to want to raise their hands, book calls, or buy my products directly into DMs? I'm going to show you. This is exactly what it looks like. This is the 3-phase process I have developed in order to get people to, like rabid dogs, raise their hands, desperate to buy what I am selling. It starts with introducing a new, unique opportunity, incentivizing action to take action on that opportunity, and then future pacing or creating FOMO, showing them what will happen if they do not capitalize on this opportunity. Now, within these 3 phases, there are a number of steps. The complete sequence has 7 steps, and here's how it works. You start by introducing an insight to the market. You need to first have some support or validity for what you're going to sell. You can use anything as an insight. You can use a stat. You can use another creator's video, as I have here. Here I've posted a video of Ravi Abuvala talking about how it's getting harder to sell high-ticket products in the current coaching and agency market because the market is currently so price sensitive, right? And I shared this video to prove, based on a stat or a higher authority, that this is a fact in the market right now. It is currently harder to sell high ticket, right? So I say exactly what I outlined in the reel I posted yesterday. Check it out if you haven't. Total addressable market sensitivity is changing. Adjust your sales process to the market or get eaten. Remove your ego from the sales process, right? Next thing we do after we share the insight is we show the dream outcome of following that insight, right? And so here I say, The fact that we offer a version of our product at a rate like this, 13.5K, a rate like this, 6.5K, a rate like this, 1K, and even a rate like this, $350, is what allows us to make sure we can offer something to nearly every single prospect we ever attract, right? So now I've shown the dream outcome of understanding this insight. Then you go into the unique mechanism. Step 3 is showing the mechanism you've created to capitalize on this insight to achieve the dream outcome. And whether a client joins us at 1K, 5K, or 15K, they all buy the same product, which takes none of my time to fulfill as the business owner because they are all buying different levels of access to the same productized service. I call this a PLS, a productized service ladder. This should have been PSL. Built once, sell 1,000 times to every and any avatar at 80% margins. So now I've introduced a unique mechanism that I have that allows me to capitalize on this insider trend in order to reach this dream objective. What do I do next? I share a lead magnet. If you slept on my reel yesterday, DM me the ladder emoji for access to the full 21-minute PSL training, right? Now I am giving a lead magnet that is going to show people how to implement this unique mechanism which capitalizes on the insight to get the dream outcome. What do I do after I share that lead magnet? I want as many people as possible to take action on it. So I go to step 5, fear consequences of inaction, right? Here I say, or continue trying to sell every single lead who enters your pipeline on a transformation they're not yet ready for. Because gurus have led you to believe that you are worth 10K or more and should never sell anything but high ticket. So continue to fight an uphill battle against the market without diversifying your offer portfolio and continue to deal with the customer acquisition cost of 2 to 4K per client. The choice is yours. So now I'm showing them all of the pain they're going to experience if they don't take action and ask for the lead magnet. What am I going to do next? I go to a scarcity-driven call to action. If you value your time more than your money and want me to build your PSL myself one-on-one for less than a price of a night out, DM PSL. We'll do maybe 2 or 3 of these, no fake scarcity, just constantly testing new value propositions. What am I doing here? Not only am I giving a call to action, but I am associating scarcity to it. I am saying there's only 2 or 3 of these that I'm going to do, so you better act fast. What's the next step here? Well, here's the thing. Most people don't believe in scarcity because most people are very bad at using scarcity as a marketing tactic. They are obviously lying when they try to implement scarcity. So the next thing that we do to make sure that this actually initiates customer FOMO is we do something that I call FOMO engineering and future seeding. What we do here is we actually show proof of the scarcity in action and how much urgency there is associated to taking action on that scarce resource. So here I post a story saying, spots filled, 3 calls booked in about 20 minutes with this story sequence, right? Within 20 minutes of me posting this last story, I'm right away posting this next story saying, hey, too late, you're late to the party. If you didn't take action, you're out of luck, buddy. So I say, as I said, no fake scarcity. We'll finish these offer build-outs and considering doing another round next week. Don't DM me. Just keep your eyes open. Client acquisition is difficult when you try to sell the same commoditized service as everyone else. Client attraction is effortless when you invest into acquiring unique insights which build unique mechanisms. What does this do? What does this do? The future pacing of the FOMO that I'm creating. Why is this the single most important story in this entire sequence? Well, it's because now next time I post one of these story sequences, people will know I'm not playing. People will know the scarcity is real and they need to take action right away, right? Now I want to ask you a question. What came first, the chicken or the egg? The answer is it doesn't matter, right? Because ultimately, whether you share the insight or the dream outcome first, the story sequence still works. This is what I want you guys to understand. You can share either the insight or the dream outcome before moving on to the rest of the stages. You can start with either the insight or the dream outcome before you move on to step 3, the unique mechanism. So once you share those two, you move on to the unique mechanism, you give the lead magnet. The lead magnet will cause low intent leads who aren't ready to buy yet because you haven't nurtured them yet. They're not nurtured enough. Their buying temperature isn't high enough. They don't trust you yet. This will make them trust you, right? And so they'll watch the YouTube video if they request it, and they'll then go to the DMs. For people who are ready, they're already ready to buy and they don't need to see this because they've seen enough of your content and they just want the solution. They'll see the fear consequence of inaction, and then when you give them the scarcity-driven CTA, they'll DM you off of that, right? So you have low intent leads who are going to get nurtured first by the lead magnet. High intent leads are going to go straight off the story sequence to your DMs. What about people who are just so cold, so unnurtured that they don't click? Well, what's going to happen with them is the beauty of the FOMO seeding, right? This is genius. It works so well. Once they see this, now the next time you post a story sequence, they're going to know you're not playing and they're going to take action. They're going to know that if they don't take action immediately, they're going to miss their chance at experiencing this transformation, right? Now, as I said, whether you do insight or dream outcome first doesn't matter. Here's an example of a story sequence where I use the dream outcome first and then the insight, right? So I start with the dream outcome. All of these clients were closed without ads. Imagine being able to put $0 in and get money out from anywhere in the world. So I'm showing 9K, 13.5K, another 9K payment, and explain that they were all closed without ads, right? That's the dream outcome. Now I go into the insight to reveal what allowed me to do that. You just need to learn how to use psychology to position your offer as the only viable solution in your market. If you can understand your market's pain and failures and learn how to position your offer as the opposite, every single person who sees your BSL, your belief shifting letter, will put their hands up and beg to buy what you're selling. And you won't really need that much attention or lead flow even to scale to 7 figures. You'll actually be surprised how little time, content, or money, ads, you really need to invest to scale when you understand your consumer. That's the insight. The insight is it's not about the amount of attention, it's about the level of psychological resonance you have with your leads, right? That's the insight. Now I go on again. Unique mechanism. Rest of the order stays the same. Unique mechanism is what we call a BSL, a belief shifting letter. It's our specific way at personalbrands.io of creating VSLs that focus on belief shifting instead of selling, right? So I show now the unique mechanism. This BSL only needed 663 views to hit a 7-figure run rate in 91 days because you don't need more traffic, right? And then I go into the lead magnet, giving people access to 3 small modules within my course showing them what a BSL is and how to build it. Then I go fear consequence of inaction. Most agencies go broke because they think they have a traffic problem. They think they need more attention. They think they just need to run more ads, post more content, send more cold DMs, and then they go broke. And still haven't realized they don't have a traffic problem, they have a conversion problem, right? So that's the fear consequence of inaction. They will continue to stay broke because they don't have a traffic problem, they have a conversion problem. And they're just going to keep spending more money on ads, more time on content, more time doing cold outreach. So now I go into the CTA. If you're wondering what a BSL is, it's a belief shifting letter. It outperforms the standard VSL watch rate by 4x, 55% to the industry standard 12.5%. And it's exactly what has allowed us to scale 3 recent clients to 7 figures in under 90 days. If you want the free training on how to build your own BSL in order to invest less time and money to acquire more clients who actually come to you begging to buy, DM me the word BSL, right? This is where they get this lead magnet that I had ready, the course. Then the FOMO engineering and future seeding. I'm showing all the DMs I'm getting, right? And I say, last time I got too many DMs to reply to, I'm not going to reply to them all. DM fast to ensure you get access. If you fail to implement this, you're leaving an ungodly amount of money on the table, right? So again, you can start with either the dream outcome or the insight. Here's another example of one of my story sequences. Same kind of thing, insight and dream outcome. 2, the unique mechanism to the lead magnet, fear consequence of an action, scarcity-driven CTA, FOMO seeding and engineering drives more people to do the next one, right? In the meantime, people who do take action go to the DMs and they either close there. We close 30 to 50% of people here directly because of how warm they are after these sequences and seeing the specific lead magnet that we've associated to this insight, and the rest close in the sales calls, right? Now, how often do you do these? My recommendation for these long story sequences is that you post them once to twice per week. You don't want to become an infomercial channel, right? And you can't keep coming up with endless unique mechanisms and unique insights. So once to twice per week is my recommendation. Now, what do you do if you don't have engagement to FOMO seed with, right? Pretty simple. You just skip the last step. Although the FOMO seeding is incredibly powerful, you need to do a few of these until you start to get people to actually start DMing you. So be patient. Run through a couple of weeks of trying this and you'll start to get DMs trickling in, right? Now, what do you do if you don't have a lead magnet, right? You don't have assets that you can give away and you're not yet at the point where you feel comfortable making YouTube videos. You literally just skip the lead magnet. Here's an example of a story sequence that I did where I didn't use a lead magnet. I shared a dream outcome, dinner with a client celebrating success of latest campaign launch, $1.68 leads, 5K collected in the first 5 hours, 12K collected in the first 24 hours, on track for 50K month one, right? And I'm showing proof, I'm showing the ad account, I'm showing the results. Then, skip from 2 to 3, the unique mechanism. Our CTO built an AI agent to custom tailor and generate live setting scripts based on every client's type form. Should have been every lead's type form, allowing us to hyper optimize odds for conversion on every lead. This is the level of client obsession we invest into client results and the reason we have some of the best case studies in the industry. Again, showing proof of this, right? Then you go into the fear or consequence of an action. The traditional coaching agency funnel, direct response ad to VSL to sales call, is dead. Learn to adapt or your business will be too. And then finally, now you go into the scarcity-driven CTA. If you want to see the exact system we use to consistently scale clients to 7 figures in under 90 days, again, showing proof of that, a client case study, DM me 7F90, right? Now, what do you do if you don't even have a unique mechanism to share? Now you're going to go down to just steps 2, 5, and 6. Dream outcome. For example, here I show clients come into our program and gain so much conviction in our process, they start closing multiple deals in week 1 before even finishing their offer build. And here I'm showing proof of a client who started closing multiple 4 to 5 figure deals before even finishing their offer with us in a single week, right? Showing that proof, and then I'm going to fear consequence of an action. Building your business is 70% mental, 30% movement. The same way building your body is 70% diet, 30% training. This is why you'll never scale past the snail's pace without the right coaching and mentorship. You need mentorship at every stage of your business, 10K or 10 million. Your mentors just get more expensive the further you scale. One of my mentors spent over $4 million on his coaches in the last 36 months. You need to compound your time and returns. And then you go into the CTA. If you're feeling tired, or if you're feeling stuck in your business and tired of seeing people less talented, intelligent, and hungry than you make more money than you, and you want me to personally coach you to finally reach the breakthrough you've been chasing for months, if not years, DM me breakthrough. Now, what I want you to understand is you always want to strive for this, right? You want to strive for having the entire sequence built out. But one of two things will happen. When you're starting off, you might not have some of these pieces, and it's better to start with what you have than to wait until you have everything perfect. As Hormozi says, something is better than nothing, more is better than something, better is better than more, right? So start with what you can. The second thing is, again, if you're always trying to do the entire thing, you're going to run out of unique insights and unique mechanisms to share. So when I post these twice a week, for example, I'll often do one long one and one short one, right? And if I don't have a long one to post at the time, I'm not just going to skip the week. I'm just going to post a shorter one, right? But you're always going to have much more success when you do post a longer one. Now, what do you do if you don't even have a dream outcome, right? You can't even do these short 3 ones where you go dream outcome, fear consequence of an action, scarcity-driven CTA. What if you don't have a dream outcome to share of your results or your client's results because you just haven't gotten to the level yet where you found a predictable, scalable mechanism to very predictably, consistently, and affordably bring in new leads, new qualified leads, new sales calls, and new clients? How to fill out your calendar, how to actually scale your revenue predictably without tearing your hair out using inefficient client acquisition mechanisms. What do you do if you haven't gotten this dream outcome yet? Well, pretty simple. You book a call with the personalbrands.io team, right? If you want to help us, or if you want us to help you rather, implement all of the systems that we use, whether it's our initial traffic generation systems, whether it's our nurturing systems, whether it's our sales conversions mechanisms, whether it's our story sequences, whether it's the personal branding content, whatever we are using to generate massive returns at scale, book a call with the personalbrands.io team. Link is in the description of this video. And as always, Carpe Omnia, seize everything this life has to offer while you still can. You don't want to be spending the next 20 years scaling your business. You want to get these results as quickly as possible so you can do the things that you were put on this earth to do. And as much as you might love email copy or building funnels or running ads or making content, I can almost guarantee you that is not your purpose on this earth. So use business as a vehicle and make that vehicle move as quickly as you humanly can.